Yo, what's up, Bob here? Welcome to the Bob Bradley YouTube channel. Here today with
Jeffrey Lee Puckett.
Bam. So, everybody who watches the channel has pretty much seen the intro to the videos, which is my Marantz turntable and somewhat recently acquired
Pass 3 all-tube preamp.
Bam, there you go.
Yeah.
Jeffrey knows way more about it than I do, actually. But I have been thinking about upgrading my entire system because, well, it's just a thought that's in my head. If you figured out anything about me, you would know that I'm kind of I like things that are old, stuff that's patina, things that have character. So I'm always...
That's why you like me.
Boom. I'm always drawn into vintage gear and things of that nature, hence to the vintage Marantz table. That said, after seeing Jeffrey Lee's stereo and some buddies' fancy VPI turntable, it's got me thinking that, yeah. Also, the freaking Ken, the vinyl jazz lover, that guy has this fancy looking turntable, and I'm like, ooh.
He has my dream speakers as well.
Yeah, I mean, he's got a pretty gnarly setup there. So, I've been thinking about it, and I thought, well, I need to pick Jeffrey Lee's brain about this. And I guess what we should talk about is where to start. Like, what's the most important component of any good stereo system, you know?
Well, the very first thing you need to do is kind of get a feel for what kind of sound you prefer.
Okay.
Because it's very true that some people like a kind of in-your-face, hyper-detailed, real forward-sounding system, which I find to be too bright, that kind of stuff. I find, like Klipsch speakers, I find them to be too shouty.
Okay.
But for some people, that's perfect, you know. I like things to be a little bit more laid back, and I like it to be a little bit lush sounding, I guess, which, you know.
Fair enough.
So you start there, and then you work on your components, because it doesn't really make any sense to just start picking stuff without knowing what your end game is going to be.
Okay, so we'll just start with make sure your room doesn't suck.
Yeah,
and
that's the hardest part.
That you have some type of idea of what you want out of your system.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then I think you start with speakers.
Okay.
Because speakers is the last thing the signal passes through before it hits your ears. If the speakers are going to have a sound that completely negates what your amplification is doing, then you're just getting nowhere. You're kind of just spinning your wheels. So I start with the speaker that has a sound signature that I like, and then I kind of work backward from there.
Interesting, because I'm not too proud to say that I always go the exact opposite of that. I don't know why. I think it's the guitar thing. You know, you always start with the guitar and then the amp, and then kind of the speaker is kind of almost an afterthought, you know. As a more advanced guitar player now, though, I know that the speaker's super important. So this makes sense to me. But it also means that my current system, even though I have okay speakers, acoustic research speakers, those were Janet's. I inherited those speakers. What, you know, I didn't even choose them. Okay. All right. So speakers are the most important.
Yeah. And then because, I mean, I used to listen to CD and LP pretty much equally for quite a while. Back when I was, you know, a music critic, most records came out on CD. Most albums came out on CD.
Sure.
So, but now I'm 99.8% records. So number 2 component for me is turntable
Okay.
and cartridge together. I think of them
Okay, let's get into this then.
peas and pods.
So, now, do you put a lot of stock into the tone arm?
Well, I'm not a fancy lad. You know, I don't spend a ton of money on my stereo gear.
Okay.
I try to get bargain, middle of the road. I try to get obviously good stuff, but I want to get bang for your
Just
buck.
being a little more honest.
Bang for your buck stuff
Okay.
is what I look for.
All right.
So every turntable I've ever bought has come with the tone arm,
Okay.
and they're all replaceable. I mean, like I've changed the tone arm on my current turntable, but I just put in a different tone arm from the same company, so it was plug and play. It was pretty easy. So I would, if you're just getting started, I would by no means buy a turntable with no tone arm, and then go through all that learning curve. I would get a turntable that has the tone arm. A lot of really good turntables now actually come with the cartridge ready to go.
Right. Jeffrey Lee has done several reviews for Discogs on,
Like budget tables.
for budget tables.
yeah.
I'll link those in the comments. Cartridge.
Cartridge is, for me, another big thing that impacts the sound, just the sound signature. Because you can get a cartridge that, again, has a big, bright forward sound. You can get one that's kind of laid back. You can get one that's right in the middle. I love changing cartridges because, they're fairly affordable to change out a cartridge. And you can mess around with different sound just by popping on a different cartridge. So I probably have 7 or 8 cartridges laying around.
Do you have like a favorite brand of cartridge or?
Well, you know what?
Or
I don't.
whatever, or what, you know.
My favorite cartridge at the moment is a Grado. It's the model. It's a discontinued model. It's the Reference Master. It's one of the wooden ones.
Is that what's on the table now?
That's what's on the table.
Okay.
And it has a different sound than the regular Grados, like the silver and plastic ones, which are really, they're a bang for your buck cartridges there.
Just to put it out there, mine's a Grado Green.
There you green. So you bumped it up a couple of steps.
Yeah. So, it's pretty good.
Yeah, Grado is kind of known for having a real nice, articulate, mid-range kind of a sound. They're also known for sometimes causing hum, but obviously you don't have that problem.
No, not really.
Yeah, I've never had that problem.
That said, my turntable's never really been set up by anyone that's a real expert like Jeffrey.
Oh man,
Lee.
I keep promising to come over and do that.
So
now it's on video.
Look
when
for
I
the
have
video
to.
in the future, because just from a small cell phone video I sent to Jeffrey Lee, he thought that the stylus looked like it was at a weird angle. So, so the chances are, that needs to happen. But okay,
And
so
I like your turntable. Like you always kind of poor mouth your turntable. They last forever. They're really robust. You used to be able to get them for $100. Now you have to pay more like $500 to get a good copy. Good copy. I'm always thinking.
yeah. Tubes.
I love tubes. At this point, I could not go full solid state. I just like what they bring to the table. And my preamp and my amplifier are hybrids. So they have a solid state aspect and a tube aspect. The amplifier generates all its power through solid state, but it goes through a tube stage before it heads out to the speaker. The preamp, I'm not even sure where the tubes come in, but there's like 4 of them in there. I think probably the some of the trickier stuff is just done solid state wise. Rectification and all that kind of stuff is done solid state. And then my phono stage, I have a separate phono stage that is 100% tube. And I just, for some reason, once I went tube, the handful of just solid state systems I've heard that are not vintage, because vintage is a different sound.
Right.
Modern solid state systems, they just don't sound good to me. They just sound clinical. And, the thing is, I like distortion. That's what people say. Well, tubes just make distortion. and I say to
Those
that,
are stupid
I
people.
say, thank you, Lord, for distortion, because distortion to me sounds like music.
Look, I'm the president of the Vacuum Tube Association of America. Okay, I'm not gonna lie about this. He doesn't have to convince me at all. I'm totally in. All right, so do you, let's not get into a huge wormhole here, but you're pretty much new old stock tubes. I've noticed that.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, I can't change the tubes in the preamp and amp.
Right, but
Those
as far
are
as
hard.
your
As far as my phono stage,
yeah.
I switch out tubes all the time just because it's fun. That's the other thing about tubes. They're fun.
Yeah, they are fun. And I would suggest modern tubes, JJ's, I really think are great tubes. And some of the Mullard reissues,
Yeah.
you know,
12AX7 Mullard reissues
yeah,
are pretty solid.
are pretty solid, yeah. All right, well, that sounds pretty interesting. We're going to be bringing you some more of this audio talk.
Oh, man, we didn't even get into setup.
No,
Because you can change the sound of your stereo just by moving your speakers around.
That's true. And we're going to save that for the future because I think my journey of the system has just kind of started to get serious. So probably going to be bringing you that whole way, and you'll get to see as I kind of sort out what I'm eventually going to have as my. What I'm going to attempt to do is buy the right thing the first time.
Whoa.
Which is,
Good luck.
I know, but look, I haven't been through this with stereo gear, but I've been through this with a lot of other kinds of gear.
Right.
So I do have kind of a
Bit of a roadmap.
Yeah, a bit of a roadmap for this. So anyway, please like, subscribe, tell a friend, leave a comment down below. If you have any suggestions on awesome pieces of gear, cartridges, any whatever, put them in the comments. I'd love to hear about it because it's something I'm kind of delving deep into right now. So until we meet again, Bob out.
Jeffrey Lee out. Bob, I don't think the patient's going to survive.
He's got to. He's all I got. Without him, I'm all alone. Jeffrey Lee Puckett's making a very, I would call this a surgical procedure on my stylus here.
It's a delicate but common procedure. This is the appendectomy of stereo.
It's a slight adjustment, but it needs to be done nevertheless.
The good thing about this particular operation is that you can do it multiple times and no one dies. Because the initial adjustment is never correct. It'll be close, but it won't be. Just drop it. Man, that really is high. We could adjust that too if you want. Or do you like it? I mean, you're never going to hit the side of the record. That's for sure. Alright, this is the part where I'm going to block the camera.
Okay, that's fine.